Yo, what's up, guys? We are Chopped Anime, three of the almighty Chopped Anime. We're back to chop up another anime with you. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 13. But before we do that, please subscribe to our channel. We appreciate all the support. Now, on to the reaction.
Don't walk.
Bruh. I like how they did that transition.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah. I think they've really been incorporating like some cinematic like creativeness in this stuff.
They've been in their bag this season, bro.
Yeah.
They're doing the narration.
Yeah.
Yeah, his arm ruined, bro. That joint went right. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You can't get hit with that.
This directed is fire, bro.
Yeah.
He said they had no last words, but they
was crying. Yeah, that's why he say that?
My boy's doing a blood Rasen.
This is like
He's trying to do the reverse red curse energy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Well, he can bring it back to him, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You might want to get out of there, Yuji.
Yeah.
Starting to flood out here. Oh.
He putting hands on Yuji. Now hold on. Wait a second.
I mean, the episode is like red scale, so this technique must be powerful.
Yuji is a street fighter.
Yeah, I was like, you can fight to win, bruh.
Oh, that's so much determination, bro.
Yuji said, I don't gotta be the main character. That's cool though. Yuji's not a very typical main character anyway.
He is not, bro. Hypertension, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, all types of things.
It's thrombosis. That don't sound good.
It's kind of like Mojito with the soul.
Yeah.
It's definitely a worthy foe, though. I give it to him, bro.
Now I see why the little brothers were crying out for the big brother. Big brother don't play.
Yeah. The colors and shading are perfect too. The reds and the blues going together.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Took a whole chunk out of his shoulder.
Yo.
Forget that. He ain't got a shoulder.
Apologize. I know, Sukuna, I ain't gonna let this man losing to such riff.
Sukuna was surprised.
Oh, put a hand through his body or something. What's going on here?
Nah, bro. I think it was
what's happening.
His presence, bro.
He just killed him with his presence.
Memories that didn't exist.
Put him in the
Forget. I didn't know Choso was Italian over here.
Put him in an
It'd
Italian.
be funny. They just show him in the Amalfi Coast. Oh.
Ew, bro, get this dude out of here, bro.
What is going
What's
down?
going on, bro?
Sakuna is sicko. These memories shouldn't be doing this to somebody.
I don't think it was Sukuna. Why would Sukuna do that? Why would Sukuna put memories inside of him?
Oh, or was it the
Well, why would they show
thrombosis?
Sakuna at that point then? I'm trying to like. Oh, the devil, the
Just the
Gato.
girls, yeah.
Yeah.
生きてるよね。じゃあ始めるよ。
Hmm.
I like how they go back to that
What?
sign too, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That was a good wrap up. So we saw there was a scene where the two bloods interfuse, right? There was a scene where Yuji's blood and Choso's blood were kind of mixing together, and then that it seemed like that's when like the memories hit kind of. I think that has something to do with it. Otherwise, why would they show the two bloods swirling? Unless the two bloods mixing together was a representation of the memories or something. But to me, it seemed like it wasn't Sukuna, right? Sukuna was like, you know, how pathetic or whatever, close his eyes, and then he opened them like he was surprised or something that Choso missed. I don't think it was Sukuna. Why would Sukuna do that? Cause that to happen to Choso? I think something happened with Choso at the time, which was very weird. Choso feels like he has some connection to Yuji or something. But those are fake memories, which is what's throwing me off. Like, why did he get fake memories? Yeah.
Amoya, I don't know. What did you think?
You know, it's kind of interesting that they were mentioning all these things that could happen when you were doing that to your own blood, like thrombosis and stuff. Like, if it's not Sukuna, like, is he like self imploding? Because he's like spitting out blood now and stuff, right? Like, you know what I mean? And like people close to death is like, you know, you get some weird memories. Yeah, but like, I wonder also like, because Yuji treated his brothers with like respect or something. I remember like he complimented one of the brothers or something where he was like, "Oh, yo, like, you know, this guy actually, whatever, whatever." So I wonder if some of that is kind of coming along too, where like the memories is like good for Yuji because like I don't know, he just got that good vibes going. You know, he means well from the heart. So like maybe like what Mayor said, when the blood mix, maybe he's understanding that Yuji ain't a bad guy. I don't know, but it's definitely interesting how like that memory came about. It's so random, bro. Like eating spaghetti with his brother in a picnic and then getting fed to like
I'll give you that, man. That the fact that the memory of what the substance of the memory was doesn't seem like something Sukuna would do, because the memory was like
Sukuna would just come and kill the dude or something.
Like, and not have him looking at Yuji eating spaghettis and meatballs. I don't know what I don't know what the heck that was about. So yeah, you might be, as you know, I'm leaning more towards you, I guess, that it wasn't Sukuna, and we'll have to figure out till next week to exactly what it is.
And I think in terms of like fighting, I think Mappa is showing that they are trying to come after Ufotable for fights and fighting animation. Like, you know, they're trying to say that if their animators can do it, our animators can do it too. So they're coming after them. I think Ufotable, you know, as we get more fights in Mappa anime, you know, they're gonna have strong competition, right? There's eventually gonna be a fight, I think, that Mappa animates that are gonna get people to think that Mappa has surpassed Ufotable, unless Ufotable, of course, comes back and animates another fight from Demon Slayer after. I know Demon Slayer has a lot of fire coming, so they have a lot of opportunity to put out some fire content. So I'm glad Mappa's getting that chance this time around with JJK. So yeah, because the colors, the directing, the fighting style, you know, it wasn't, one thing was missing kind of was like the emotion, but this wasn't really that kind of battle, so it makes sense why they didn't really have that. So that was that's one thing you can't really compare on. So but yeah, Jose, like you were saying, the narration was great. Like, narration for a type of anime like this is very key. Like, I think it added a lot of substance just like animes like Hunter x Hunter, adds a ton of substance to the show. And I think that's something where like different animes like Demon Slayer might need to add just subtly, like for some fights and stuff. So yeah, whoever the director is, the choices that they are making are great.
Yeah, for sure. The cinematic stuff is great, man. Like just like the no walking sign, like, starting the episode with Yuji like looking like, he's running, that followed the thing, and then at the end they showed the bloodied walking sign. Like that's cool, man. I like little subtle things like that. I think a lot of anime viewers appreciate that. And that's one of the reasons I feel like Ufotable was great, because they had those little things, little details that were there. I do agree in the fact that there isn't enough emotion in the fight, and maybe that's why this won't go down as like one of those top anime fights. But I definitely see potential there. You know what I mean? Like they're getting creative with how they're showing the angles. The hand-to-hand combat is great. The animation, the colors, like Mayor said, like they're doing a great job blending it all together, where they like are complete, providing us with a complete scene. But I just think they're just lacking that next level of like emotion that some of the Demon Slayer fights have, some of the One Piece fights have, So like, I think they're on their way, but they're just not quite there yet. But I definitely see some great potential with Mappa, man. They haven't missed so far this season on JJK, and it's progressively been getting better throughout the season too. So, excited for this season to continue, man. Like, and like the narration really helps, because you don't have to then spend some time, kind of go into this long backstory on what, things are, you can just catch them live during the fight, and the viewers will have a good enough idea of like, oh, okay. Because if he was just pointing and shooting, I'd have been like, what's his technique, bro? Like,
that's something that you and Mayor pointed something out to me. I was watching the fight. I'm like, this is a great fight. And I was like, what separates those other fights that we've seen from this one? And you're right, there is an emotional aspect that comes with the greatest fights and greatest moments of like anime, like you said, the Demon Slayer fights, the Rengoku Akaza, Tengen versus Gyutaro, in Naruto, all the great fights in Naruto had that all of those joints had that emotional aspect. Like, yo, like Dragon Ball Z made you try to go Super Saiyan. Like, like all might fights, yeah, you're right. That emotion gotta be there for you to put it in the echelon where it's like, oh, this is like going down as the top 10. But like you said, I think that's gonna come. That is interesting. Jujutsu Kaisen hasn't had one fight like that yet. They had fire fights every season, like constantly throughout the season. They had fire fights. It's just none of them have that emotional aspect, which is interesting, because this is a great story as well. Yeah. So I'm interested to see if that'll come up. I guess something drastic would have to happen for that aspect to happen in the fight scenes. But I wanted to say this. Now I see why the Hell's Paradise crowd was mad at Mappa for what they did, because the animation level that you really can get from Mappa is they can do some stuff. They've like, after they saw, like I thought Chainsaw Man was just an exception. I'm like, oh, that was the show that they wanted to put some investment into. But now you're doing it with Jujutsu Kaisen, and they feel like Hell's Paradise deserves that type of recognition. But maybe after the first season, when they come out with season 2, maybe they'll give that crowd, that audience, that favor. But now I do see why. I'm watching this fight. I'm like, man, Hell's Paradise got done dirty. I'm watching. I'm like, because Hell's Paradise was still good, and I was fine with the animation. But now I'm saying like, oh, those fights could have been taken to the next level. And just a side note. That was just all. I was just thinking that while I was watching. I was like, oh, I get it now.
One thing I will say about JJK fights though are that these might be the smartest fights that I've ever seen. Like what they're doing combat wise, and I actually maybe it's not the smartest, but I think it compares very close to Hunter x Hunter, if not surpass Hunter x Hunter with the amount of like battle intelligence that
Yep.
goes on both
Mhm.
Yeah.
sides of the fight. Like even if you go back
I
at
can
the
see it.
Toto fight, like the things
Mhm.
that they were doing in that fight, the things that they were doing in this fight, that is where I think it surpasses like those other fighting anime, right? It doesn't have the emotion yet, but it definitely has the battle intelligence that makes you go like, whoa, this is some like crazy stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good episode, man. I hope, like, you know what I think also is helping this anime is Gojo not being in these fights, right? Because like we know when Gojo's in a fight, like he's about to wreck him. Like you have to like bring a whole army and then some to even come close to like where we think Gojo might be defeated, right? Like so, like I think him being removed from that situation, we will be more invested in these fights, and I think the emotions is only gonna grow.
I mean, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the animes that you can't say for a lot of them that it isn't carried by one character. Like Yuji's the main character, but we enjoy fight scenes with like everyone else, and when they give time to Maki, when they give time to Toge and Todo and what's his name?
Fushiguro.
Fushiguro.
You
Like the
care about all the
Mekamaru
characters.
scene. Like all the characters you kind of care about and don't want them to die. Like I kind of want Mekamaru to somehow not die now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, he's actually a good character. So Nobara's cool. Like all of these characters are actually really cool. So yeah, it's a very well balanced anime. So that's our reaction, our analysis, our review of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 13. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to our channel. We appreciate all the support. We are Chopped Anime.